Hello again, beautiful people. We're going to dive even deeper. We're going to take another step in how we are co-creating and how we are bringing our vision to life, and what is it really following the calling? What does it really mean? So we were mentioning in the previous episode that the calling and the whisper of your heart and this magnificent abnormal experiences that you really wish for yourself and you know that exist inside of you, they are something internal. There's something that only your pillow knows, only your heart knows. Sometimes maybe you don't speak about it out loud even, maybe you write it in your journal. And in that sense, we need to also recall that every creation that we can create, everything in our life, is not being created from the outside in. Every creation is an inside-out experience. Now, this is for me the meaning, and I would even say the reason for healing. Although in the common perspective, what we will say that healing is someone have a certain distortion, someone have a certain thing that doesn't function well, and then that is being corrected. But healing is not fixing. There's nothing wrong. Even if you feel that there is a physical experience in your body that seems distorted, healing would not be fixing it. That is a thought that matches the Western way of operating, indeed in order to operate, to maintain. But in a process of transformation, in a process of creation, there are distortions because new experiences are coming. And therefore, healing is not a reaction. Healing is not something that you do because something is wrong. Actually, healing is the art of transforming to your highest version day by day. Healing is being, and being is healing. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing to fix. It is if you forgot about yourself. It is something that needs to change if you neglected your visions, your ideas, what you hear and feel inside of you when you were not feeling that you are meaningful and significant. Then it could be that this old vision of what healing is relevant. So in that perspective, I look on everything that is calling our attention as something that chooses to be with us. Both your vision and the transformation that you are calling to go through are choosing you. You're not an outcome. Your vision is not a choice that is coming because there is no other option. You're not a result. Your life is not a result of something. You are the creator. You are the one who is leading your world, and by that, their world, because there's no other world than the world that you see. There's no other reality than the reality that you create, the reality that you live by. So therefore, the transformation or the healing is the self-leadership of taking yourself to the next stage, taking yourself to another experience, another manifestation, and your vision and your challenges are part of the composition of this manifestation, are part of your creation. The reorganization and the repatterning and the realignment, the calibration into an advanced experience, the next level experience. So whether it is your vision or whether it is your changes, they are calling you to escort you. Now, the transformation, this creation that might go through challenges and might go through bliss and might go through both. If you don't judge them to be challenge or bliss, or just experience them and find the beauty in them, this transformation, this journey of creation cannot be theoretical. Nothing in your embodiment and in your creation of your vision can be theoretical. It could be that you will need to go through the fire. We don't know what it will be. But to cast a new vision on reality, and as high you see the vision, most likely there is still some distance with what is being experienced. And for that, sometimes it's really far from being theoretical. It is really a holy fire. But I know that you've been there, because there's no chances in the world that you will be listening and being a part of this podcast if you know the truth of what I'm saying. And it could be that it's just recalling now. It could be that you listening to this podcast today, to this session today, is to recall the places in the past that you've done something, that you've went through the transformation, and you would have never believed that you would go through it, and you've done it, and you've done it in the most spectacular way. What we also know for this transformation to really be an embodiment, to give birth to this one who is experiencing the vision, the one who's casting the vision, and the one who is embodying the vision, it cannot happen from the state that you are in it now. Whether, again, it is a short-term vision or a long-term vision, it cannot be, because, as you see, beyond time and space, your reality is a specific reality now. There is a specific experience, and it is not your vision. It was your vision of who you were in the past. But then more layers are now open for you to step in. More layers are calling you. You've been initiated. You've been trained to move to the next level. So if it is not where you are now, if it is within your desire and it is not here now, the first inside-out change is to move away from where you are now, which is also known as the comfort zone. Now, we're going to take a deep breath and look at the comfort zone for a moment. The comfort zone, inside out, is first and foremost your thoughts and your patterns. Take a deep breath. It's the way you speak with your own self. This is your comfort. You got used to look at yourself in a very specific way. You got used to look at yourself as the one who is limited in those places, as the one who is motivated to that extent, as the one who have that level of energy, but not the next level of energy, as the one who needs to do that and that amount of preparation or that and that amount of initiation. You got used to look at yourself and to think about yourself and to relate to yourself in a very specific way. And that is your comfort zone, beyond anything else. But then, of course, there's a ripple effect of that thought, of that pattern, of that behavior. And those ripples effect are in your environment. It's in the people that you're in relationship with. It's in the type of relationship that you have with those people. Because some of the people in your life you cannot change, and some of the people in your life you do not want to change. But you can change the relationship. You can change how you show up for the relationship. You can change the way that you are present for whatever is happening in the relationship. The ripple effect of those thoughts, the ripple effect of your comfort zone shows up in the way that you dress, shows up in the way that you allow yourself to experience what you're allowing yourself to experience, the type of vacations you're taking, the people that you are consulting with, the books that you read, the food that you consume. All of those things are ripple effect, a ripple effect of who you don't want to be anymore, of the one who's dreaming about a vision. Now, the number one thing that takes you away from reality and from manifestation is your dreams and your imaginations. It simply takes you away. So part of changing your patterns and creating this healing, this transformation, is going physically away from the place that you think those thoughts, the places and the relationship that you behave in that way. Go away from them and find yourself, lead yourself to places that are either neutral in their presence, and you have enough force and enough clarity of why you are there, and then you can lead this transformation. You can take yourself into this embodiment and come back anew. Or you take yourself intentionally to places and experiences where it is designed. The transformation is designed. And of course, as I shared, one of the reasons that I'm sharing about that is as we're crossing through the 8-8 portal. Because in the golden experience, the next in-person event, one of the things you will have is a designed experience. For 2 days, I will be leading you through experiences, healing, inner work, activation, empowerment, connections, and blessing in an environment with other people who are going through the same transformation. And what you will be able to do in those 2 days, as this work is intentional, will be remarkable. Will be really taking you away from your comfort zone into a greater embodiment of your vision, of who you are, and of what you are. Of course, when we're done, when we're complete, you'll go back to your life. Now, I'll share with you something. There was a stage in my spiritual journey where I've learned with different people that I appreciate very much, and I would even say admire. Until this day, I really appreciate their power and their energetic capacity. But it was very short after I met some teachers, where I really felt that I need to go to the master. I'm serious about that. I'm serious about my energy work. I'm serious about my spiritual path. I'm serious about this calling to be a spiritual leader, to be a healer. I'm so serious about it, and I cannot play little games like it. I cannot play those games. I cannot play small. And I was young at age, and my finances were not at their highest. Because if you are in this podcast and you listen to the first episodes, you know that my spiritual journey started by me giving everything that I had. And I felt I need to see Star Fuentes, who came to be my master. I need to be with her. And that is a short-term vision. I didn't know how I will manifest it. At that time, I wasn't feeling comfortable even speaking English at all. I didn't know how I will communicate with her. I felt the journey is huge. I needed to fly to another country. And I didn't know who this person is. I've never had a conversation with her. I've never met her. Those were ages that you couldn't see videos or TikTok or whatever of that person and feel comfortable to be in the presence. I just felt I need to be there. I felt I need to be there. And again, in terms of investment, it was like a huge investment at that time. Like super huge. I'm like trying to figure out what was the equivalent of it. Was like, I don't know, 6 months of work for me. If I would keep on working as an architect in the office, and for 6 months I will take all of that money, that was the investment. I didn't want to fly and do the entire experience for 1 or 2 days. I wanted a real deal. I wanted the real thing. I wanted to be transformed. I wanted to be touched. I wanted to have the powers. I wanted to have the initiations. And I didn't know so many of it mentally. I just felt it. And I took everything I had. I called her. I asked to come. She gave me dates. I had no idea how the money will come. As you can imagine, the money came. It was not my responsibility to create this money in that time. My responsibility of leading myself to that experience was to be sincere about it, was to be clear about that, to keep my heart open for it, and to know that if I'm following my heart, the universe will guide, the universe will support. And I went to be with her in person for 10 days. Throughout my career, throughout my life afterwards, I've been with her many times, and it was a remarkable experience every single time. But at that moment, it felt like, how am I going to do that? How would I get the money? How would I meet her? How would I survive 10 days? And I remember I was speaking with a friend of mine, and I wanted her to come with me. Like I said, let's do that together. Why don't you come? And one of the things she said, I have no doubts that star can pour light on me. But I have the doubt about the size of my crown. This is what she said. She said, I feel that I have that tiny little crown. Whatever she will pour on me, just gonna go. And I could understand that. As a teacher throughout my life, I know that many of my students and many of my clients many times are preventing themselves from doing something so simple and so spectacular, something that really will be a remarkable point in life. Like, how would my life be if I wouldn't do that move? Who would I be if I would not do that move? How many times you're not doing the move because you think that you don't have enough, or you think that you're not enough, or you think that you wouldn't make it? How many times in your life? And what happened in the time that you've made the move? That you said to yourself, I'm enough, I have enough, and I will have what it needs. I remember I was listening to my friend saying that my crown is too small to that light. And I said to myself, who cares what is the size of my crown? By the time that I will complete those 10 days with her, I will have an amazing crown. I wouldn't be the person that I am today if I wouldn't make this move away from my patterns, away from my own limitations, away from my perspective of myself, of what is possible and what is impossible, and went to be in person with my master. At that time, she was not my master. She became my master. I don't know how would my life unfold if I was not choosing me and my vision, and I was not choosing to make it real and tangible, to truly touch her hand and her touching my heart physically in person. Many of you have been with me on the internet, online world, and I am in such a gratitude for so many things that happened on the online world. I must say, I am also not the same person as I led myself in this virtual teaching experience. But I also know that the real healing and the real deep transformation that is happening in a well-designed space that have the focus to take you through the transformation, that is so aligned, so prepared in an immaculate way to take you through the transformation, nothing compared to that. Whatever stories that you're saying to yourself of what is possible and impossible, whatever limitations that you're taking on yourself of what you can do and what you cannot do, whatever illusions you are still feeding, they will fall. To be in that space, to be in my presence, to really receive an energetic healing, to lead yourself through energetic transformations, to meet your highest version. 2 days, in person, a royal crossing through the Lion Gate.